So doing a quick series of video clips about replacing the wiring for the rear windscreen wiper in obviously the T3 or T25, whatever you want to call it. First stage, get the trim off from around the boot. That should just come off on its own. And then very carefully undo the headliner from around there. So you can see this one's 40 years old, crispy, it's ripped in a few places, already had holes in. Eventually I'll replace it, but I'm not that bothered. And then once you've done that, you should be able to see the wiring behind here. Right, quick talk through tools and equipment. You need spade terminals. You probably need about 6 of these. Get them from Brickworks. Make sure they've got the hose retainer, and I wouldn't use the pre-insulated ones because they're shite. I've got terminal remover here. Again, it's a useful one for getting those spade terminals out. Trusty Swiss Army knife. There's the new motor for the rear window wiper from Brickworks, sort of mounted in the thing. There's the original cable. Make sure you keep the terminals because you need those. There's a crimper. This one's from iCrimp, as recommended by Elvis Summers. 0.1 to 1 millimeter squared works. If I was buying it again, I'd probably get the one that goes up to 1.5. Pair of wire cutters, wire strippers, voltmeter, cable from Auto Electric Supplies. They've got good range, and a few other bits and bobs. All good to go. Okay, so quick tour of what's what then. You've got on the left hand side the rear window defogger. It's pretty chunky wire. I'll put in the notes when I can look it up what the gauge is. Goes up through here, through that left hand grommet, and then it feeds all the way down and actually joins a terminal behind the this courtesy light here. So you pull out the courtesy light, reach up in there, you should be able to find it. And if you're replacing that, certainly when I did it, I replaced the whole length of it from this terminal there. It's got standard female spade terminal like the one I just showed you in it, even though the housing's the wrong way around. So that's fine. Then there's the earth. Again, I replaced that, so that goes from there through here, comes out in there. This wiring and mountings is actually factory rear speakers. Speakers no longer exist, but you can get them. I'm not that bothered. I might put some lighting in using that wiring because it still has the terminal in the front. I'm not worried about that. This one here is the one we're interested in really, that feeds down to the rear wiper. And there you can see the hose for the rear wash. Rear wash bottles there, pretty straightforward. Take the seatbelt off, take this panel off, pull the end off. You might need to cut it because it's pretty heat shrunk on there, I think. Feed it through, all the way through. On this one, I could only get the wash hose through it, and then it comes round to here and onto the little squirter there. Got an earth from the rear window defrost again. Probably worth replacing those, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I did mine actually. So that's where we're at. I'll make the cable run next. So you've got the right cable for the rear wiper, black with a grey trace, green with a black trace. I believe it's 1 millimeter squared. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put a terminal on 2 lengths of that, feed it through this left hand grommet all the way down. Don't put the second terminal on until after you've fed it through, and make sure it's all the right length. So I'll get it all in position. I'll put the final terminal on once everything's mounted up, ready to go, and then I'll film it with film again. All right, here we go. So I put a new terminal on the new cable there to match this one, the one I took off the old wiring. Just make sure it's the right way round. So on this one, the black and grey goes to the spade in the longer hole, the male, and then the green and black goes to the female, and that's then matches. And actually it matches, it's the same on the other end, so it doesn't matter which way around you put it, but also you have to thread it through, so you don't make it all up first. Then I've clipped it onto the clips for the old speaker wiring, threaded it through here. I didn't actually use a fish or anything, I just lined it up and poked it through. I put a bit of sleeving over there so it doesn't chafe against this hole, and then threaded it through the wiring grommet, which again is a new one from Brickworks. So that's all ready to feed through, and hopefully I'll just let it allow gravity to take over and it'll pop out the bottom, and then I'll terminate it and put it onto the windscreen wiper. Right, it's just feeding up through here. It's going up quite easily actually. Not so easily one-handed while videoing, but it should just come out in here shortly. Alright, so here we are, full cable run in place. Terminated there, comes along, clipped on, up through this hole here, out through that hole, just pop the grommet off, feed it through the grommet, and then all the way down through here. I put the factory sleeving back on that I took off the old wiring, and then it's just ready for terminals. And there we are, terminals on. I'll put the connector on in a moment, and then we'll try it out. Just a quick note about depinning these terminals. They've got the obvious tab on the bottom that you find on these. This is on the female side, on the left in this picture, but there's also a little bit of a clip on the top that you've got to release to get it out. So yeah, top tip there. I'd never seen that before. Perhaps I was naive, but anyway, yeah, it was a bit of a fiddle until I realised what was going on. And there we have it running. Just to double check before it goes in. If you're testing out, don't forget to hook an earth up to something. That's what I did. Didn't do the first time. I was like, why is it not working? Anyway, it does work. So I'm going to bolt it all in and button it up, and that'll be that. Et voila. So, new motor's in, all plumbed in. There's the cable run. Yeah. Long to there. Remember, freshen up the earths. Goes along there. Re-stick those. Bish, bash, bosh. We're done.